Hi, how are you doing? In this video, we're going to have a new project using GameLab from code.org. But before start working with our project, I want to show you the most creative two projects from last assignment 5. Here we have Zaina's project. Okay, she made a very nice idea. Welcome to the race. Okay, she used the same idea in a different way. An alien is moving on the x-axis from 50 to 35 inside the drawing loop, so he's keep moving on as if he's running or he's in a race. And the second one, Yusuf Muhammad. Yusuf's project is so creative. Click run. Okay, by the way, the flowers we're having here are not sprites. He drew them using ellipses, as you can see here. And instead of working with the sprite.x, he used sprite.y, and the flies are moving up and down, okay, on the y-axis. Thanks for Yusuf and thanks for Zaina. Now I'm gonna open the project I already made. So if you wanna open an existing project or a project you already created, click here on projects to view a list of your projects. Here we have my projects. We're going to create the same project we're having here, underwater. Here we have, when we click run, we're having like 4 sprites. Okay, 2 fishes, they are moving from right to left and left to right. A star which is rotating, and when we click the space bar, the crab will start rotating as well. Again, click on space, the crab will start rotating. First of all, we're going to click create a GameLab project. Okay, this time, just a second, this time we're going to have a sprite as our background. Last time we used from drawing the background block, and we changed the color of the background to have a colorful background. This time we're going to use a sprite as a background. First of all, we're gonna move to animations here. Make sure to add your animation, okay? So from here, new animation, search for background. Okay, I didn't complete the word, but I'm having here the background I need. Okay, here we have this one. Back to code. From sprites, we're going to start by creating the sprite. Creating the sprite should be done outside the drawing loop. We're going to change the word sprite to background. Okay, we're gonna keep it in the position 200 and 200. Actually, the background sprite is too big, so it will fill the screen. Then again, from sprites, we're going to set our sprite background, change the word sprite to background, and from animation, we're going to select our animation name, which is background dash, which is background on dash, and from then we're gonna move to the world here and drag a draw sprite function. For now, we're gonna keep it outside the drawing loop to test what do we have. Okay, we're having a background filling the entire screen. Then I need the crab to be here, and the 2 fishes and the star. So from animations, we're going to select our animation under Okay, here we're having the crab. Then we're going to select the fishes. Okay, this one and another one should be okay, this one. Okay, so we're going to move back to the code, and from sprites drag a var sprite, place it before the draw sprite, and change the name sprite to be fish 1. Okay, fish 1 should be here, okay, and x 24 and y 31, so x 24 and y 31. Okay, we didn't set our sprite, so set sprite to be fish 1, and from here we're gonna select this one, run. Okay, it's too big, that's why we need to minimize it by using the scale, sprite.scale. Place sprite.scale here for fish 1. For the value of fish.scale, I'm going to add 0.5, okay, meaning the size of the sprite will be half of its original size. Okay, reset and run. Now the fish is smaller. I need to make her more smaller, so we're gonna make it like 0.4. Okay, this is okay. Then we're going to add the second one here meaning 298 for the x, 300 for the y, so we're gonna make it 300 by 300. So var sprite again, this time it will be fish 2, and we're going to change the x to be 300 and the y to be 300. Then we're going to set our animation to be fish 2, and from the drop down menu we're gonna select the tropical fish. Okay, and run. It's too big again, so we're going to drag sprite.scale, change the sprite name to be fish 2, and the size will be 0.4. Reset and run. Okay, this time it's okay, but we need to change the direction of the fish to be looking at the left side. So from animations here, selecting the fish, and here click here to flip the fish, so now it's looking at the left. Back to code, run. Now they are okay. We need to add the crab here and the star here. Okay, sprite crab, it should be here, 29 by 173. Okay, 29 by 173. Set your sprite crab, and for the animation crab, reset and run. Okay, it's big as well. I'm going to copy any scale and paste, place it here after the crab, and change the sprite to be crab. Okay, it should be moving a little bit to the right, so increase this one to be like 40. Again, it should be moving more to the right. Okay, I followed the same steps to create the star sprite as we're having here. It should be created in 300x and 173 for the Y. Then from animations, I added a star fish here, and then I set my animation and select the sprite to be starfish. I changed the scale of the star to be 0.3. Click run. Now we need to move the fish 1 from the left to the right. Moving from left to the right, meaning we are moving on the x-axis. Watch the value of x while I'm moving the mouse from the left to the right. Yes, the value of x is increasing. So we need to create an equation to increase the value of the x for the fish. While increasing the value of the x, the fish will be moving on the x-axis from the left to the right. First of all, we're gonna drag sprite.x, change sprite to be fish 1. Then from math, we said we're gonna increase the value of sprite.x, so we added an equation with a plus sign. What will be increased is the x value, so again from sprite, drag sprite.x, change sprite to be fish 1. I'm just copying and paste. I'm going to increase the x value by 1. Reset and run. The fish will not move. Why? The draw sprite should be added inside the drawing loop. Okay, once we added any block inside the drawing loop to repeat that block, okay, we need to add draw sprite to repeat the process of creating sprites. Reset and run. The fish will be moving from the left to the right. Actually, what did we do here is called the counter in programming, having an equation, okay, to decrease, increase, multiply, even divide is called a counter. The counter function is to increase a value or to decrease a value. Here we are increasing the value of x by 1, and the block here or the equation here will be repeated as long as we're having it inside the drawing loop. Every time the program will run, the x will be increased by 1, and then the action will be repeated again. It will be increased by 1, so it will be 2, then plus 1, it will be 3, and so on. So the x value will be increased, moving the position of the fish, and the fish will be moving on the x-axis from the right to the left. Okay, what will happen if we change the y to be like 4? Reset and run. The fish will move faster. If we change the 4 to be 8, 10, and so on, the fish will be faster and faster. So we're gonna change the 4 to be 10 and see the changes. Okay, it's moving too fast. Okay, so we're gonna keep it as 1. I need it slow. Then we need to move the tropical fish here from the right to the left. Again, we are moving on the x-axis, but moving the mouse from the right to the left will decrease the value of x. So drag sprite.x. This time it should be fish 2. Okay. Now from math, what do you think? we're going to drag yes an equation with a minus sign, as we're going to decrease the x value. So from sprites, drag sprite.x, change the value of sprite to be fetch2. It should be -1. Reset and run. Now the fish will be moving from the right to the left. Now we're going to rotate the star fish using a counter to increase the value of rotation. Sprite.rotation here for star. Okay, then a math, drag an equation with a plus, back to sprites again. I need to increase the rotation value, so star +1. Now we're going to increase the rotation value for the star. Reset and run. It will start rotating. Okay, then we need to rotate the crab, but this time the crab will start the rotation if we click the space from the keyboard. So what did I say? If the space clicked, or if we press on the space. So here we're having a condition. We're going to use the if statement, the same if statement we have in Excel, the same if statement we're having in in the flowchart. A question with yes or no. Okay, if yes, we're having an option. If no, we're having a different option. So from control, drag if statement. And remember, the if statement should be used with one of the conditional expressions, using the operators greater than, less than, equal, or any condition. Okay, the condition here will be click the space from the keyboard. From the word here, we're having key down. Place the key down here in the place of the condition. And here we're having the up arrow, the down arrow, the left, right, and space. Okay, or we may click any letter from the keyboard. Here we have A, but after selecting A, you can replace letter A with B, J, G, O, any letter. Okay, we're gonna select the space. So if the user click on the space, what will happen? We're gonna add a counter that will rotate the crab. So we may select this one, copy and paste. Okay, I'm copying and pasting from the keyboard using the shortcut Control C for copy, Control V for paste. So I'm going to drag this one here, and I'm going to change the name of the sprite to be crab, and the other one to be crab. Reset, run. Now I'm pressing the space bar. Okay, I left it again. Your assignment will be creating the same interactive scene we're having here, but I didn't rename the project. It's untitled project, so name it with your name. Okay, slash underwater, and if you wish to write any text or add any label from drawing, but make sure this time to add the text after the draw sprite, okay, as we're having our background this time as a sprite. So you need to create the background. Remember, the one will be at the back should be the first one, so we need to create the sprite of the background, then having the text. If you created the text before the draw sprite, it wouldn't appear.